I thought I had it all figured out, train my rich, devoted fiancé to give me everything I wanted, and I'd live a perfect, carefree life. But when my secret voice notes mocking him and our perfect relationship got exposed, I realized I might have lost everything, including the love I pretended to care about. I'm Brittany, 28. And this all started 2 years ago at my friend Chelsea's housewarming party. I was working at Marshall's as a supervisor back then, making barely enough to split rent with 2 roommates, when Chelsea introduced me to Adam. He wasn't my usual type at all, like at all. You know those guys who look like they've never seen the inside of a gym? That was Adam. But Chelsea kept going on about how he was such a nice guy and doing really well in it, whatever. I figured I'd humor her for one conversation. Then he mentioned he just got promoted to senior systems engineer, whatever. My ears perked up real quick. I mean, my ex, Kyle, had amazing abs but couldn't keep his phone on half the time. Maybe it was time to be more mature about dating. So when Adam asked for my number, I gave it to him, for networking purposes, obviously. Our first date was at this cute Italian place downtown. Nothing fancy, but he insisted on paying when I tried to reach for my wallet. He actually blushed and said he'd be offended if I paid. I remember texting my best friend Mackenzie, right after, "Girl, this nerd just paid for everything and left a 30% tip. Like he's not even that cute, but I might keep him around lol." Well, I started noticing how different Adam was from my usual guys. He'd actually listen when I talked about work drama. He remembered little things I mentioned liking. 3 dates in, he showed up with my favorite Starbucks drink, not just the basic order, but with the exact modifications I prefer. I told Mackenzie it was kind of creepy how attentive he was, but secretly, I was loving the attention. 1 month turned into 3, and I found myself actually looking forward to seeing him, not because I was attracted to him or anything, but he was just so reliable. Never played games with my feelings, always texted back, planned actual dates instead of just Netflix and chill. Plus, his career was taking off. He'd just gotten another certification that came with a raise. I started putting in more effort too, remembered his favorite foods, sent cute good morning texts, the whole girlfriend package. Mackenzie thought I was crazy. "Girl, you're way out of his league," she'd say, but I'd just wink and tell her, "Sometimes you have to invest in your future." We'd laugh about it, but honestly, the more I played the perfect girlfriend, the more Adam would spoil me. By 6 months in, I had him wrapped around my finger, designer bags for my birthday, weekend trips to wine country. All I had to do was act appreciative and stroke his ego a little. Mackenzie couldn't believe how much he spent on me. "It's like he's trying to compensate for something," she'd joke, and I'd laugh along while showing off my new Gucci bag. The best part. Adam had no idea I was basically training him to be the perfect boyfriend. Every time I'd gush about how thoughtful he was, he'd just try harder to please me. When I told him I'd never felt so secure in a relationship before, his whole face lit up. Meanwhile, I was texting Mackenzie, "Can't believe this guy thinks I'm actually into him, but hey, at least my bills are paid." Looking back, maybe I should have seen the signs, like how genuine he was about everything, or how hurt he'd look if I made even a small joke at his expense, but I was too busy enjoying the ride. Besides, it's not like I was cheating or anything. I was just being smart about my future. Every girl does it, right? Some of us are just better at playing the game. Things got real serious real quick after that first year. Adam got this massive promotion at work, some senior architecture role or whatever, and suddenly, our date nights went from Olive Garden to places where the menu didn't even show prices. I still remember calling Mackenzie from the bathroom of this fancy steakhouse, trying not to laugh. "Girl, he just ordered a $200 bottle of wine like it was nothing. And you should see this ring he got me for our anniversary. Pretty sure it costs more than my car." The perfect girlfriend act was paying off big time. I had it down to a science. Ask about his day, act interested in his tech stuff, plan little surprises. One time, I decorated his apartment for his birthday, and this grown man actually teared up. Called me the most thoughtful person he'd ever met. I had to mute myself while telling Mackenzie that one. We laughed for like 10 minutes straight. But here's the thing that really sealed the deal. Adam started talking about our future, like, serious future plans, house in the suburbs, joint bank accounts, the whole 9 yards. And yeah, maybe I didn't feel butterflies when he kissed me, but butterflies don't pay the bills, you know. Besides, I'd gotten pretty good at faking that spark, a well-timed smile here, a lingering touch there. He ate it up every time. I even started dropping hints about marriage, nothing obvious, just casually showing him rings on my Pinterest, talking about which of our friends' weddings I thought were flawless. Adam, bless his heart, thought he was being so sneaky with his proposal planning. Meanwhile, I had the whole thing figured out months in advance. Mackenzie couldn't believe how well I'd played it. "Girl, you're actually going to marry this guy?" she asked one night. I just smiled and said, "Why wouldn't I? He's literally perfect." By perfect, I meant perfectly trained. The proposal was exactly what I'd slyly guided him toward. Private chef at home, photographer hidden to capture the moment, my dream ring. He'd even contacted my mom for help planning it. When he got down on one knee, talking about how I'd changed his life and shown him what real love was, I actually felt a little bad, like, just for a second. But then I saw that 2-carat diamond sparkling, and suddenly his sappy speech didn't seem so cringe anymore. That night, after posting the perfect engagement photo, I sent Mackenzie a voice note. "Can you believe this is actually happening? Your girl's about to level up from retail supervisor to trophy wife." We spent hours planning how to turn this wedding into the event of the season. After all, if Adam was willing to spend that much on a ring, imagine what he'd do for the wedding. The best part. Adam thought all my excitement was about spending my life with him. Poor guy had no idea I was more interested in the lifestyle than the actual marriage. But hey, I figured as long as I kept playing my part, we'd both get what we wanted. He'd get his dream girl, and I'd never have to worry about money again. Seems like a fair trade to me. Let me tell you about the wedding planning phase. That's when I really saw what a goldmine I'd struck with Adam. Every time I'd mention something I loved at another wedding, he'd just nod and say, "Added to the list." From our honeymoon, he keeps trying to cuddle. Like, I already secured the bag. Can I get a break? Stop it, I snapped, trying to grab his phone. You're taking everything out of context. Everyone talks like this with their friends. But he just moved away, still with that eerily calm expression. You know what's funny? He said quietly. I actually thought about not looking when I saw the first message. I told myself I should respect your privacy, but then I saw my name, and well, I guess curiosity got the better of me. He laughed, but it wasn't a happy sound. 2 years, Brittany. 2 years of me thinking I was the luckiest guy alive while you were literally mocking me for loving you. That's when Chelsea and Ryan showed up. Apparently, Adam had called them before I got home. They'd been our witnesses at the courthouse wedding before the big ceremony. I thought, finally, some backup. They tell Adam he was overreacting, but then I saw their faces as Adam played a few choice voice notes, the one about how I'd manipulated him into buying the house I wanted. Playing the safety card was genius. He actually thinks I care about school districts. The one about how I trained him to never question my spending, just had to cry once about feeling financially controlled, and now, he literally apologizes for checking the credit card statement. Chelsea, who'd introduced us, looked like she was going to be sick. Ryan wouldn't even look at me. And still, Adam just sat there scrolling through 2 years of me gleefully documenting every manipulation, every fake moment, every time I'd mocked his genuine feelings. I think you should stay with your parents tonight, Adam said finally, still in that horrible calm voice. I've already called them. Your dad's on his way. You called my parents? I screeched. What? You're trying to turn my whole family against me over some stupid private jokes. They deserve to know who their daughter really is, he said simply. Just like I deserve to know who my wife really is. That's when I made what Mackenzie later called my tactical error. I sneered at him and said, oh please, you should be grateful I even gave you a chance. Look at you and look at me. We both know you were punching way above your weight. The look on Chelsea's face told me I'd miscalculated badly. That was 3 months ago. Now I'm back in my old bedroom at my parents' house, still working at Marshall's, and everyone's acting like I'm the bad guy. Adam's lawyer served me divorce papers the next day. He's not even fighting me on the settlement, just wants me gone, says, he'll give me what's fair just to be done with this chapter of his life. Like, how dramatic can you get? Mackenzie won't even talk to me anymore. She says the voice notes Adam sent her were eye-opening, and she needs to reevaluate her own toxic behaviors, or whatever. She blocked me on everything after that night. Even my own mother keeps giving me these disappointed looks, and asking if I understand what I threw away. The worst part. Everyone's acting like I did something horrible. Hello, I was a perfect wife. I never cheated, always had dinner ready, went to all his boring work events. So what if I vented to my best friend? Every wife complains about her husband. And yeah, maybe I didn't get butterflies when he kissed me, but I stayed faithful and played my part perfectly. Last week, I tried to go to our house to pick up the rest of my stuff. Adam had boxed everything up and left it in the garage. Wouldn't even see me face to face. Get this. He'd included printouts of every single voice note and message, organized by date with the greatest hits highlighted. Real mature. There was even a post-it note that said, in case you ever wonder why this ended. I'll admit seeing it all laid out like that was uncomfortable. 2 years of messages, each one worse than the last. Things I'd said at our wedding during his birthday dinner after he got that big promotion. The day he surprised me with the house down payment, and I'd immediately called Mackenzie laughing about how I'd trained my little pay pig so well. But you know what? That's not even the most messed up part. Yesterday, I found out through mutual friends that Adam's already been promoted again, some big tech architect role or whatever. Apparently, the salary is insane, and here I am back to scraping by on retail wages, living in my childhood bedroom, watching all my hard work go down the drain. My dad tried to have a serious talk with me last night. He said something about how I'd lost more than just a husband, and needed to do some soul searching. Please. The only thing I need to search for is a new man who understands that relationships are basically just business arrangements anyway. I mean, everyone pretends in relationships, right? I was just honest enough to admit it to my best friend. So yeah, that's how I ended up back at square one. All because Adam couldn't handle a few jokes and had to go snooping through my old phone. If he just minded his own business, we'd still be living our perfect life. He'd be happy thinking his wife adored him, and I'd be happy letting him think that. But whatever, his loss, right? I'm still young, still hot, and now I know better than to leave evidence lying around. Next time I'll be more careful about what I say in texts and voice notes. Maybe I'll even find a guy who's not so sensitive about everything. Although sometimes late at night, I catch myself missing the way Adam used to look at me, that pure total devotion, the way his face would light up when I walked into a room. How he'd plan these elaborate surprises just to see me smile. But then I remember how he ruined everything by snooping through my phone, and I get angry all over again.